Changing times require changing attitudes. If we do not tend to change, then we often are faced with resistance. As much as it is said that change is permanent in the world, we also understand with the equal statement that there is nothing permanent in the world. Everybody likes newness. For example, if somebody would sport a new shirt, a new costume, suddenly everybody would notice. On this episode of Change, let's see how we can bring about a change which is new, a change that is desirable, a change that is wanted by others, a change that makes everyone comfortable. Difficult as it might sound, but we have someone to answer these questions, someone who can make it easy for us. We have in the studio Rajyogini Brahma Kumaris Sister Usha. Didi, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Like I was saying, making a positive change, making a change which is desirable, making a change which appeases others, making a change which makes everyone comfortable, looks a difficult nut to crack. It's often said that not everybody is pleased.
Yes, whenever any change is introduced in any workplace, or people will again change, and as if it is like a burden now they have to as if drag and go along with it. So people never appreciate. They are so comfortable, they have their own comfort zones, and they are so comfortable in that they don't wish to bring some newness in it. But I feel that we used to play a small game on change. And in that we had partners, and we asked the partners to look at one another, observe very minutely what they have on them, and then we asked them to turn around and then bring about 3 changes on their physical appearance which the partner has to identify. And it was seen that initially when we asked them to bring about 3 changes, they immediately start the game by taking off things, removing the specs, removing the watch, removing the shoes. 3 changes done. And easily identified.
Yes,
by
because
people.
it is there visible. Yeah.
So they are very happy. Then we ask them to again turn around, keep the first 3 changes as they are, and then bring about 4 more changes. And being creative in bringing the changes. And that's when people feel, now what can I take off? Still they find some small things here and there, so they change places. Maybe they have a pen in the pocket, bring it out, put it in the bottom pocket, then take off the rings maybe, or whatever they have physically on them. So 4 changes minutely here and there they do. The first were noticeable, the second were quite minute, which were not noticeable. But still they managed it. Some people had a good hairstyle, but they spoil it. That's a change. Okay. Then in the 3rd round, we asked them again, okay, you have 7 changes, don't change them back, keep them as they are. Now bring about 6 more changes. And that's when they feel, now what can we change? We have no resources. We can't give up everything. We can't take out everything. And then we say, okay, sit down. And when they sit down, they tend back to the old way as they were dressed. As they had those things, they again place it back to that.
They'll again wear the watch, wear the specs, and they'll come back to the way they were.
And then we ask them, after the game is over, how many changes are still remaining on you? And then they realize none of them. Or hardly one, maybe. Why? We asked them and they said, well, the game is over. I said, no, I didn't say the game is over.
We just asked you to sit down.
Sit down. Yeah. So that's when they realized, but now it is over, no? So I said, if you had changed 7 changes on you and none of them are still remaining, why did you change them back? They say, because we are not comfortable. So with the changes you made, you were not comfortable. How do you expect others to be comfortable with those changes?
And most of the times this is what we want. We expect that this person must change and this person must change exactly the way that I want him or her to change. Yeah.
And this is what happens. In practical life also, in any corporates, we find that people, when we ask them to change, okay, bring about 3 changes. So the first thing is give up. Those duties with which we are not comfortable, give them up. Anybody can do it.
Yes.
Anybody can do it.
Those jobs that we feel these are burdensome, these are not something that we enjoy, give it up to someone.
Give it up to someone. Change. Then we ask them, okay, now 4 more changes. So then they think, we can't give up everything. Otherwise our seat will be gone. Someone else will take this seat. So now it's difficult. So we make small changes wherever we are changing, keeping the files from here to here to here, changing a table a little bit here and there. Whether we are comfortable or because we are asked to change.
We are bringing about a change.
And in the name of creativity, sometimes we spoil.
Yes.
Just as I mentioned, the person who had put a hairstyle, we spoiled it. Change. So similarly, the outlook of the office also sometimes will disturb the whole thing. And it is looking worst. But still, because change was demanded. Change. And then when we ask, okay, 6 more changes, then they feel we have no resources now. It's impossible. How much do we have to change? Every time do I have to change? Nobody else is changing.
This is one of the things that we whine a lot. We say, why is it I have to change every time? Yeah, go on.
When everybody is going through the whole process, everybody is changing, but still we feel as if I am the only one changing. When everybody is changing. Because we do not bring in a team spirit and change as well. We ask them, well, everybody was playing the game. You could have exchanged things with one another.
Yes.
And the game would have gone on for hours.
Yes, if you go on exchanging things with the other person, if there are 20 participants, you can exchange things in the... Yes.
Because everybody is going through the same process. So it's not only you who are changing, everybody is changing. So let us bring in this team spirit.
Yeah, with a little bit of give and take and sharing of ideas and stuff, it could have happened,
Yes, but we don't bring in this team spirit in the workplace and help one another bring about the changes which they may be comfortable with. And then, when the pressure is lifted, turn back to the old way. Turn back to the old way where we were, how we were working, how we were doing things. We are comfortable in that. So this is what people think about change. Change does not mean spoiling things. Change does not mean that temporarily we change something and then we work. As soon as the pressure is lifted, we turn back to the old ways. No, change is creativity. Change is bringing newness. If I wouldn't have demanded change from them, if I would have given them the freedom, okay, as much as you can, how much you can, change, then maybe they may have brought 1 change or 2 changes, but it would have remained, it would have stayed.
Yes, that change would have been permanent.
But because sometimes we demand so much, that is why people also use this psychology. Every time he would come with this word change. Anyway, do it here and there, finish it off. So the psychology, there is no enthusiasm in bringing about the change. So, let us give us inspiration. Let us give freedom. Ask them to bring about changes, but where they are comfortable. And then they would think in a creative way, maybe do one or two changes, but which will stay forever. And that would be appreciated by all. That which will be welcomed by all. That which will give happiness to all. So change means newness. Change means creativity. Change means inspiration. Change means appreciation. Change means welcoming. That is change.
These are the definitions that you have given. Out of all these definitions, if I would connect to one, slowly, if I would connect to everyone, but the starting one would be newness. Everybody likes newness in life. Let's say I took a vacation, I went to Shimla, I went to some hill station, I went to Goa, or I went to the beach or the ocean. But when I come back, few days it was there, and then the effect was gone. I come back to my normal life. So if I want that thing to stay permanent, mentally I mean, the thoughts, the feelings, if I want that thing to stay, how would I do it?
Well, I would say that in order to keep that continuously, then that enthusiasm which I was having at that time, if I'm able to maintain that enthusiasm, again and again I recollect maybe those memories also, and I bring back that enthusiasm. And then my behavior with others on the basis of that enthusiasm would definitely be appreciated by all. And that is how they will welcome my change. When they would appreciate and welcome, that's when I start feeling, oh, so everybody likes this change.
It's true. Nobody likes a sulky face. Nobody likes somebody who's like strict and somebody who's always whining or in stress. Nobody likes it. Everybody wants a person to be happy, jolly, easy to approach. These are the things that everybody wants. And
it reminds me of a beautiful story. That once there was a poor boy, very, very poor. So he was just wandering and he saw a beautiful car. So he started looking at that car, and the person who owned the car just came by, young man. So when he saw this poor boy looking at the car very interestingly, so he thought, well, it's my new car, but let me take him for a ride. So he asked that boy, you like the car? So he said, yes, very nice car. You want to have a ride? Get in. So the poor boy also enjoys, gets into the car. And then he starts asking questions. This car must be very expensive, isn't it? So he said, yes, it is expensive. So how did you get this car? So that person says, well, my elder brother gifted me. So this young boy, poor boy says, very nice. Your brother must be a very nice person. So this young person asks the poor boy, I think you must be thinking that in future you would also like to have such a car. So he says, no, I'm not thinking that. I'm thinking that in future I would like to be like your brother. Because I also have a young brother and a young sister, and I would like to give them something. So one day, I'd like to become like your brother. One who can give, not the one who can take. A beautiful message.
Yes, indeed.
Huh? When we start thinking in that way, what can I give to the world? In which way I can give happiness to the world? What can I give? And when I start giving small things which can make people happy.
Yes, it is true.
I think that will bring a total change in my outlook, a total change in my attitude. The moment I have this attitude or feeling of taking things, I want, that desire never ends, and whatever I get, I'll never be satisfied.
True. Most of the times it so happens that when we want something new, there is a want for newness, We want something new to happen, but we do not want that, let us do something new, let us give something new, let us create that newness. And you very beautifully changed the perspective about give and take.
Yes.
We want, otherwise also as a citizens of a country, we want, okay, our country must change these things and overnight it must become a developed country and things must change like this, every cleanliness must happen, roads must be good, these things must happen. We are asking for it.
Yeah, and that's why when things don't happen, we start complaining. So if I want to be a change agent, or if I want to be a change maker, definitely I need to give.
Yes.
When I have this attitude of giving, sharing, caring, I think we create a beautiful world. We are able to change everything around us. Our whole world starts changing with this attitude. And every day, the enthusiasm will go on increasing. I may give love to someone. It really does not mean giving something out in physical only. I can give out through my emotions, through my positive feelings. And when I'm able to give that, then I think I get something more, because it's a rule, it's an eternal law of nature. What I give, I get.
Yes. Like it says that what goes around comes around. So the more
the boomerang effect.
Yes.
The boomerang effect. Whatever I have given out, it will come back to me.
I recollect a small incident. One of my friends used to say, if you ever want change, you go to the bus conductor. He'll give you change. And we would say, these are not of the kinds of change that I want. I want some real change. A change that could make new things, a change that could make people happy, a change that could bring about comfort and appease everyone. That is the kind of change that I was looking for. But when you said change giver, give change. So I don't think now the conductor fits in anywhere.
If I want to make change happen, I have to be the change. If I can be the change, then I can make change happen. If I just expect change from others and I don't change, nothing can happen.
If we look at the examples in the history, there are examples of Raja Ram Mohan Roy in India, Swami Vivekananda, Mahatma Gandhi, who brought such a huge change. It was such a huge shift from where we were seeing. The first war of Indian independence was a war. In 1857, it was a war for independence.
Yeah.
But he somehow, with the idea of truth and non-violence, he changed it from a war to a movement. And it is as inspiring as you say, these changes inspire also. But the ability to do that is amazing.
And the main part is, although he was the main person of the whole movement, but after independence also, he did not want to get a position.
Yes.
He gave positions to all, but he did not want it for his own self. So that is the thing that makes change happen.
Yes.
Because the moment I start giving, I get the joy of it. I get the happiness of it. The moment I share, I get the happiness of it. Anything small. On a bus stop once, there was a lady sitting, and she had bought a packet of cookies with her, which she had placed it in her bag, and she was reading a book. A gentleman comes by. He also bought a packet of cookies, and he sits down. And he places that packet of cookies in between both of them. So the lady thought it was her packet. She forgot that she put it in her bag. he also started reading a book. And then he opened the packet and took out one cookie and started eating. So this lady looks at him. What type of person? Doesn't even ask and starts eating. So she also takes one, so thinking it's my packet. So I have a right to eat. But then the person, again he takes another one. So the lady also takes another one. Both
really
are reading.
annoyed saying that this person is taking another cookie?
Yeah. And then there's last one left. So the man thinks, okay, she has been also eating. So he breaks the thing, gives half and takes the other half. And then he leaves. His bus comes, so he leaves. Doesn't say anything. So the lady feels so awkward. He ate all my cookies.
Not only when there was a last cookie, he did not have the audacity saying that it is your cookie, ma'am, you eat it, but he made it into half and he ate half and gave me half.
Yeah. And then he didn't say thank you for it.
Thank you, yeah.
Left. Oh my God, what type of person he was. And she gets up to go as her bus comes. And then when she puts her hand into the purse to take out the money, that's when she sees her packet. And then she realizes, I've been eating his packet. She felt so embarrassed at that time. Sometimes, but that man did not mind.
Yes.
Even though when she was taking one, he didn't mind. And the last cookie also, he felt, okay, let me share half and I'll take the other half. When we share, we get the joy, we get the happiness. She was feeling bad because she did not want to share. But when she realized, she was embarrassed. And that's when she started appreciating that man. And it was always on her memories throughout the life.
Yes.
When people share, when they give us, then definitely we remember them throughout our lives.
And a big change happened,
Yes.
you know. In the lady who got into the bus and when she saw that her packet of cookies was intact, I think a big change happened to her, that she realized that not only she had made a mistake, often making other people realize their mistakes is a dangerous zone to go to.
Yeah.
And here, with your own kindness, with your own generosity of giving, you made that person realize. But not only that, a bigger change happened is in her mindset, that she realized that how nice it is to give.
Instead of we also always being rude or furious or making people thinking that people are such, let us change. And the moment we start sharing, maybe everything will change.
In this episode, if we have learned something, I have learned a lot. It's about, most of the times, it's not about making change happen through some unseen source. It is about you being the agent of change, you being the torchbearer of that change. If you want something to happen, yes, Mahatma Gandhi said that you be the change that you want to see in the world. But how can it actually happen is really simple.
Yeah.
It's really easy. Only thing is you would have to think differently.
Yeah.
You don't expect for newness to come into your life, but you be that newness.
Yes.
You try bringing in something new. And probably that is when everybody can appreciate also.
Yeah.
And for giving that lesson, thank you very much for coming on the show.
My pleasure.
That was about change. Ever thought about becoming a change maker? Difficult as it might sound, it might seem impossible to join the ranks of Gandhi, Martin Luther King Jr., or Nelson Mandela, or Mother Teresa, or any of the great leaders who have been the change makers in the history of mankind. But we can all make those changes. Let us be change givers. Can we give change to someone? Yes, if you start giving today. And if we start giving, then what goes around comes around. And that change will come to us too. On this note, I leave you today. We'll see you in another episode of Change. Till then, take care.